Hey, there we go. Now I can be seen. Now I can be heard. Get excited.
Took his struggle and his strife, learned to monetize his life. Merch like Jay's darkest time, the word all brought to the light. Gay sight of the path of walking in his gift of
What up, Queen
motivating shift and
Fashions?
all the
What's up?
put downs, the uplifts.
Miss Gen 13. Thank you for coming through. How you feel? How you feel? All right. Let's get started this morning. What up? How you feel? Thank y'all for coming through, man. Today's impact meeting. It is Tuesday, April 9th. And ironically, we on impact meeting number 8 today. And we talking about Black Widow's sacrifice. Ooh, this should be a good one. You see her in the background. You see her. So, just like every other day, before we get started, I gotta let you know, who is this character and why are we talking about them? So, who is Black Widow, aka Natasha Romanoff? Black Widow, of course, is a fictional character primarily portrayed by Scarlett Johansson in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's based on the Marvel Comics character by the same name. But who is this character? So, of course, she was separated from the Avengers at one point. Hold up. She's a world-class athlete, a gymnast, an acrobat. What up? Ooh, excuse me. She's an acrobat, an aerialist, capable of numerous complex maneuvers and feats. If you watch the Black Widow movie, you will see her origin story and how she became an assassin for the United States government and which government she worked for before then. But that's all beside the point. Black Widow became an Avenger because she always wanted to help people. She always wanted to be a good person. But she was trained, literally trained to be a bad person. Black Widow was designed to be a weapon, right? She was designed to be a weapon. She was a human weapon, sort of like the super soldiers, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but more like a Aeon Flux type of assassin, right? So she was trained to kill. She was sent to kill people, and she actually doesn't enjoy killing people. Now, I was going to show you a video clip. I was going to give you a quick section on her origin story, but YouTube keeps blocking my videos, man, because of the Marvel copyrighted footage. So I'm not allowed to show you that on this one anymore, unfortunately. But Black Widow's origin story starts something like this. When she was a child, Black Widow was given away to an assassin's agency by her father. Her and her sister grew up in several group homes and several training facilities. She was built to be a weapon since day one. And yeah, it might be a sad story. But if you think her beginning is sad, then you might not even want to stick around for the end. Why is Black Widow's sacrifice so important? Black Widow is the person who, when the Avengers had to go back in time to collect all of the stones, she was tasked to collect the Soul Stone. What up, Miss Real One? Thank you for joining. And I get a little choked up about this because this is a death from an MC, a main character. What up, Ursula? Thank you for joining. You can come to the stage if you like. This is a main character death. And it's touching. It's heartbreaking. It's heartwarming. You know, she sacrificed her life to get the soul stone. Now, this is the ultimate. This is the ultimate sacrifice. And again, the Christ consciousness always comes back to Marvel because, what up, Miss Crafty Lab? Thank you for joining. In the act of sacrificing yourself, not only do you become immortal, not only will you obtain eternal life by doing so. And when I say eternal life, I don't mean physical. I don't mean that you will literally, your body will live forever. I don't mean that. I mean the fact that we're talking about her right now, right? Yeah, she's a fictional character, but the fact that we are speaking her name keeps her legacy alive. People like Jesus, for example, people like Malcolm X, people like Martin Luther King, people like Beowulf, people like all of these prominent historical characters are known as martyrs, as people who gave their life for a cause, gave their life so that something could be different, gave their life so that they could obtain something that they couldn't obtain if they had kept their life. The importance of Black Widow's sacrifice is to show you that your selfish ambition, the times where you want to flex, or you want to show off, or you just want to be at a certain point in life, are not important, are not more important than the bigger picture. Black Widow's sacrifice is an example of how you can put in all the work and all the time, and you can put in all the energy into something. But if it isn't for someone else, if it isn't for something outside of yourself, it doesn't matter. It's only temporary. Sacrifice is the only everlasting action that you can take. For people to remember you by, for people to understand that you put yourself last and you put others first. Black Widow sacrificing herself was just another ode to people like Jesus. Because having the consciousness to be aware that what you are doing will end your life, but it will help countless lives to continue. So during the blip, right, when Thanos snapped his fingers and unalived half of the universe, right, half of the creatures that were living, half of the planets that were around, half of the people, half of the animals, half of everything was gone. Do you think that one life is more important than all of those literally countless lives, billions and billions of lives? Do you think that one life is more important than all of those lives? And Black Widow thought that it wasn't. She thought that her life is nothing in comparison to the lives that she would be saving by doing what she did. So during the final battle, when her and Hawkeye approached the Red Skull, who was the guardian of the Soul Stone, the person that's there to tell you how to get the Soul Stone. And how do you get the Soul Stone? You get it by giving up the one thing that you love the most. Throughout Black Widow's entire life, she had to protect herself. There was no one there for her. Her little sister was there, but she was protecting her little sister as well during the time that they were around. So this is a scorned woman we talking about. This is a fighter, an assassin, a killer who was trained to kill since she was 6 years old. A little baby, y'all. growing up around a big time professional human trafficker who actually kidnapped other little girls as well. She was the one that would lure the women in. She was the one that would help him trap new women to take under his wing like fried rice and teach them how to be assassins and get contracts from different countries to perform espionage, and he keep all of the profit and he just give them what they need to be taken care of. He was basically a pimp. He was basically a pimp of assassins. So being a little girl in this lifestyle, she had to protect herself. She always had to worry about herself and put herself first. The sacrifice that Black Widow made was even more selfless in the sense that it was something that she's not used to. She's not used to putting other people before herself. Even in the Avengers, even as an Avenger, she still was one that would assert her own dominance before she would let someone else do it. So this person that we talking about is the least likely to sacrifice themselves for the collective, is the least likely to allow her own death in order for something bigger to happen. And that's why she's the person that was most likely to do it. That's why she was the person that it was fit for. Because I'm going to tell you one thing about the universe, about God, about your life. The thing that you avoid the most is the thing that you're going to have to do to get to where you want to be. I'm going to say that again. Whatever you running from, you're going to have to face it if you want to elevate. Or you could stay the same. You could stay the same the rest of your life and go down as a nobody. And nobody talk about you after they put you in the ground. And nobody remember your name. I remember in the movie Troy, I think it was Brad Pitt that was playing Troy. That was Brad Pitt, yeah. In the movie Troy, he asked one of the soldiers, he said, bro, what you waiting for? And don't quote me because I'm paraphrasing. He asked one of the soldiers he was with, yo, what you waiting for? And the soldier said, I'm not going in there. I'm not fighting them. And Troy looked down at him and said, that's why no one will remember your name. And right now, I can't tell you that soldier's name from a can of paint, but I can tell you Troy's name. The same way I can tell you Black Widow's name. So in sacrifice, you have to remember that what you're doing, what you got going on, what you really want to be is bigger than you. It's way bigger than you. How can you contribute to the collective? What can you do that's going to make everyone around you better? What up, Be Serious? How you feel? Thanks for coming through. What could you do that's going to make everyone around you better? That's going to affect the collective. That's going to affect the bigger picture. The bigger picture, y'all. Because Black Widow could have said, yeah, I ain't doing that. We're not going to get this stone. We just going to leave those people in the blip. We're going to leave them where they at. We're going to leave. Listen, they've been gone for 5 years. They cool. They don't need to come back. She could have said that. She could have done that. But we wouldn't be talking about her right now. She wouldn't be a part of this impact meeting number 8. You feel me? So ask yourself, man, and it don't got to be death. Okay? It don't have to be that extreme. You don't have to actually die, y'all. But ask yourself, what can you do? What can you sacrifice? What can you give? How can you serve the collective? What up, Mike Hood? How you feel? Thanks for coming through, bro. What can you sacrifice? What can you give? How can you contribute to the collective for the bigger picture? Because it don't take one person to be successful. It takes multiple people. All those people that you see on this internet that got you thinking they did it by themselves or they self-made or they did it on their own. They didn't do it on their own, bro. They didn't do it on their own. What about the time when they was homeless and they had to live with their parents for a while? What about the time where they ain't had no money and they girl or they husband or boyfriend had to front them the funds to start their business? What about the times when they had to go get a job in order to fund the business that you see them thriving in now? They didn't do it on their own, y'all. Don't let them fool you and say they did. Black Widow's sacrifice is a perfect example of how teamwork will literally make the dream work. Without her, they wouldn't have collected the soul stone. And without everybody else doing what they did, they wouldn't have collected the other stones in order to defeat Thanos in the end. So sacrifice is the overarching message of the Marvel characters, of the Avengers. You saw Thor sacrifice himself, and that's how he gained his power back. You saw Iron Man sacrifice himself, and that was how they won the Infinity War. You see Black Widow, she had to sacrifice herself. So in the end, man, you got to ask yourself, what am I really doing? How am I really contributing to the collective? Because if your dream, right, if your mission is only big enough for you to be affected by it, then that's not your true purpose. It's not. If your dream or your mission is able to positively affect other people outside of yourself, that might be what you're supposed to be doing. That might be exactly where you're supposed to be. So again, I can't show you any movie clips this time. I can't show you any footage from Marvel because they will block my page. They about to delete my YouTube if I do that one more time. So I can't do it here today. But if you want the extended version of this impact meeting, I might do it later on tonight on Twitch. That's what I'll do. I'll do it later on tonight on Twitch. But yeah, man. So this podcast, this impact meeting was brought to you by Merch Life Publishing. Today, we're actually running a sweepstakes where you can get your book published absolutely free. And the link will be up a little bit later on. I'm going to make another announcement. But it's basically a raffle. It's $10 a raffle ticket. Whoever has the most tickets at the end of the month, they will get their book published absolutely free. And yeah, man, that's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing with Merch Life Publishing. So thank you for coming to this impact meeting this morning. And I'm sorry, y'all, I can't show you any video clips. It would have been so cool. But yeah, the police is on my top about that. I'm sorry, y'all. But I'm Merch Life J, motivational, inspirational speaker for parapreneurs across the globe. This was Black Widow's Sacrifice Impact Meeting number 8. And I'll see y'all later on, man. Peace.